The McShin Foundation is Virginia's leading peer-to-peer recovery community organization. So if you or a loved one is struggling with addiction, let us get you connected. Build your self-esteem and lead you to a solid foundation in your recovery. Check us out.
There was a lot more of you now than there was when I sat down. So my name's Eric Oliver. I'm a person in long-term recovery. Just like everybody else behind me says, it means the world. To me, I've been clean 4 years on December 17th, since 2014. That'll be 4 years. I had a whole list of stuff, like all the technical information and stuff, but I left that in the truck. I said, I'm not going to use this. It's just too much. I got a lot of information to cram in 8 minutes, so we're going to do my best. October 13th, 2013, I got incarcerated for my 6th DUI. And so when that happened, of course, I had a family, established a family and everything. I lost all of that. At that time, once all of that, I realized that all of that was gone. I turned my life over to God. And I had been given a year and 3 month sentence. Getting ready to get out, 15 days before I get ready to get out, they violated me. I got another year and 9 months. I took it like a champ. Didn't really affect me because I knew that's what God had in store. Once I realized that my life wasn't controlled by me, it was controlled by something much greater than me, it just seems to go a lot smoother. So I'm halfway through, and John and the McShin Foundation opened up a program, and on December 17th, my actual clean date, in Pamunkey Regional Jail. I was very hesitant on going because I was comfortable where I was at, but so a series of events happened. I finally ended up in there, I started that program, which is still going on today. And in that program, I can diligently continue to chase after what God's will was, what my purpose on this planet was, so forth and so on. While I was in there, I also went through mental health, and they prescribed me a medication, which I'm going to touch on in just a few minutes. They prescribed me Prozac to help me with depression and keep my mood stabilized. When I got out, the mental health aspects of what I did while I was incarcerated did not carry over to out in the real world. So in other words, I had to go to a mental health agency outside of jail and start that process all over to get my medication refilled. Now, if anybody knows, when you're on medication for depression and you get off of it, the symptoms are worse than when you got on it. So I went to there, and I had the bottle, and I told them, I said, I got 2 weeks left. And they said, well, sorry, the first thing in time we can see you is in 2 months. And so I knew what was going to happen, is that the system is waiting for me to go into that bigger depression so they can put me right back to where I just came from. But me being aware of that, I was able to fight it. If I wasn't aware, then I wouldn't have known any different. So then I would have followed suit with what they had planned. So I had to go. Luckily, when I got out, I moved in with my mother, which is right down the street. So I was able to come here to McShin Foundation in my free time. I was granted a very good job by my cousin, making $25 an hour. So I was able to pay ASAP and all these things that were in the way of getting my life back. Now, if you got out of incarceration, not everybody makes $25 an hour. That being said, the system it's almost impossible to do. Now, it's going to take a lot of help from your family, a lot of help from RCOs, recovery community organizations. It's going to take a lot of help from everybody around you to get you to be able to beat the system as it is designed now. So I came here, I went into recovery house. I left my mom's for a little while, managed the house, stayed going to meetings, doing everything I was supposed to do, went to ASAP, ASAP says they want $400 for an initiation fee. So that's fine. Okay, more money, more money, more money. Well, no, here's the thing. They wanted $400 for every single DUI I've ever gotten because I never took ASAP. So I never went and got my license back, so they wanted to hit me for every time I had a DUI. So cough that up, go to an evaluation. Now at this point I've had over 2 years clean. At this point they do an evaluation. They did not give me any credit for being involved in an RCO or anything that I have ever done in the past. They looked at my record and strictly at my record, nothing at what I was doing at that time. They gave me the same thing that they give just about everybody. Nowadays, if you get a possession of marijuana charge, they give you ASAP, which is supposed to be for drinking and driving. So we get in there, I do all this, I let them know that I go into the evaluation for ASAP, they send me to an outpatient, go to the outpatient. The outpatient says you need to do 16 weeks, 2 times a week, $80 a week, what's $40 per session. So now I've got to come up with that money as well. So I go through all of that, get that taken care of. Then I got to go back to ASAP for another 4 weeks. So it was 20 weeks total, total of a ton of meetings. Not only that, I don't have a driver's license. I got to pay for Uber to get around. I've also got to attend NA or AA meetings at the same time that I'm doing that. So I got to pay for Uber to get to that. I also got to attend probation. So I got to pay for Uber to get to that because I don't have a driver's license. So that being said, I did everything I was supposed to do. Went into court judge says, hey, you've got a horrible record. I don't want to give you your driver's license back. The ASAP lady was there. She said, well, Your Honor, he's done everything that we could even ask him to do before you give him a restricted license. So usually you get a restricted license, then you take care of ASAP and all those things. I did it beforehand because I already knew what I was going against. So once I did that, the judge then, asked the Commonwealth Attorney. The Commonwealth Attorney didn't have anything. I just didn't give them any ammunition to fire at me. And that is the reason that they gave me my restricted license. I get my restricted license, and since then, I have continued to just do the same thing that I've been doing since day one, which is stay focused, stay diligent, and don't let anybody or anything get in my way. Because at the end of the day, I've got to settle with what I have accomplished for that day. Nobody else does. So there's a couple things I want to take away from, let me go back up. So since I have been released from jail, which has been about 2.5 years, I have grown in my career. And making astonishing moves in my personal life. I have accomplished every goal that I set to accomplish. I have done everything that I said I was going to do when I was incarcerated, every single thing. And now I'm starting to build on that, which is buy a home for my family, my new family, and progress and try to blossom, as they say. So there's a couple solutions here that I would like to talk about real quick. I only got 2 minutes. Solution number one, I don't see why it's such a big deal for you to get diagnosed in jail and then have to go get re-diagnosed when you get out. I think that is a big downfall in the system. Solution number two is I think that RCOs should have some kind of influence on the evaluation when you go in front of your probation officers or your ASAP programs or whatever. I think it should carry some kind of weight. As of right now, it does not. That's all I got. Thank you.